If you are also looking for professional certified structural engineering services or courses, then don't forget to check link in description of this video.
In this video, we will learn the different types of slabs in structural design. In structural engineering, slabs are horizontal elements that provide building support and flooring. There are several slabs, each with its specific design and construction characteristics. Slabs are widely categorized into two types. One is one-way slab and another is two-way slab. One-way slab. This type of slab is supported on two opposite sides and is designed to carry loads primarily in one direction. It spans between beams and walls and is often used in residential and commercial buildings. Two-way slab. Two-way slabs are supported on all four sides and are designed to carry loads in both directions. They distribute the load over a grid of supports such as columns or walls. So this is a schematic diagram showing an overall difference between one-way slab and two-way slab. The span ratio of one-way slab and two-way slab is different. For one-way slab, the span ratio of longer and shorter direction is greater than 2. For the two-way slab, the span ratio of longer and shorter direction is less than or equal to 2, hence consequently resulting in a different pattern of load distribution to the beams. For one-way slab, the load distribution is directly transferred perpendicular to the shorter span, while for two-way slabs, it is transferred in a trapezoidal manner. Two-way slabs can be further classified as flat plate slab. A flat plate slab has uniform thickness and is supported directly by columns or walls without any beams. It provides simplicity in construction but may require thicker slab to handle heavy loads because the punching force in these type of slabs is very critical. Usually these type of slabs you will find in parking spaces where the headroom requirement is low and the clearance is not required to be hindered by the beams. The next type of two-way slab is flat slab. Similar to a flat plate slab, a flat slab has drop panels or column capitals at column locations. These drop panels increase the load carrying capacity of the slab and help in resisting punching shear. So these are the drop panels, and we have also shown column capital. Sometimes these two structural elements are provided in order to control the punching shear effect on the slab, since the design of the flat slab is mostly governed by the punching. Waffle slab. This type of slab has a two-way grid of ribs or beams on underside, forming a waffle-like pattern. It offers enhanced strength and stiffness while reducing the amount of concrete used. It is used in large spans such as airports, auditoriums, or cinemas, where columns are not really ideal for such locations. So this is a typical waffle slab showing thickening at the column top having a drop panel. Then we have slab with beam, which is another type of two-way slab. In this configuration, the slab is supported by beams in all directions, creating grid pattern. It allows for longer span and greater flexibility in architectural layout. This is a typical slab on beams with all internal and external beams. Ribbed slab or joist slab. Ribs are the beams or joists are the beams that support this slab in smaller spans. Ribbed slab consists of series of parallel reinforced concrete T-beams or ribs spanning between the supports. These are closely spaced beams. Ribs are usually formed by permanent formwork or prefabricated elements. This design reduces overall weight of the slab while maintaining its load carrying capacity. The rib slab has a very small thickness as the supports or the ribs are placed closely. Hollow core slab. These precast concrete slabs have hollow cores which help reduce the weight of the slab while maintaining structural integrity. They are commonly used in commercial and residential buildings and offer support to large spans and faster construction. So this is a typical hollow core slab shown, and the section of hollow core slab looks like somewhat this. Post-tension slabs have tendons, usually steel cables, embedded within them and are tensioned after concrete has hardened. This is to reduce the excessive deformation due to large span of the slab. So pre-stressing is done to control deflection of the slab primarily. This process allows for longer span and thinner slabs, reducing the amount of concrete required. This is a pre-stressed tendon embedded in concrete and the force will be applied in order to provide camber in concrete and reduce the amount of deflection. This is a typical reinforcement layout for a pre-stressed slab before the concrete is placed. Precast slabs are manufactured off-site and then transported and assembled at construction site. They offer advantages in terms of quantity control, speed of construction, and reduced on-site labor. So this is a typical precast concrete slab, and this will be directly transported to the site and assembled. It's help in faster construction of the project. This is also a typical precast slab assembly consisting of precast slab panels. Cantilever slab. A cantilever slab is a type of one-way slab that projects beyond its support on one or both sides. It is often used in balconies, canopies, and other architectural features. This is a typical cantilever slab, but it is important to note that cantilever slab is a type of one-way slab, as it transfers the support in one direction, that is, to its support. In summary, there are 7 major types of slab. If you want to learn how to design these slabs, then check link in description of this video. Thank you for watching.